there's a lot of different folding phones and devices out there right now. Except for one,
Is there really?
There is.
I mean, it's been long time since I've...
Yeah, because you had one at one point.
I did. I did.
As well. And...
but I don't frequent cell phone stores, so I don't really know what's out there.
Yeah. And I've kind of, in a way, I know this is probably not believable, but in a way, I've kind of retracted a little bit.
There's no way.
I know. See, I told you wouldn't believe me. How rude.
There's no way.
I know. Except there's several different brands that are, fold, which opens like a book. And then there's a couple that are flip, like, the Motorola Razr, the Samsung Flip, different competitors out there. And then there's some over the pond, different options as well. Like Huawei has some. Yeah.
Bless you.
Like different options as well as different.
I remember you talking about them, I think. Last season.
Yeah, I did mention one of them. Except one major U.S. player doesn't have one.
Tesla.
Apple.
I wish Tesla would put out a phone.
Oh, they've talked about it.
I thought that was fake, though.
I'm sure it was talked about.
Right.
I'm sure he's thought about it.
I'm sure.
He meaning Elon.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has. But I guess Trump took that instead.
That would be cool.
That's a whole nother.
If he would do a cell phone.
That would be pretty cool.
I would go to it. Probably.
Really?
Yeah. If it ran solely on Starlink.
Well, he's working. There's things in the works with bringing that to carriers and stuff. But that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think down the road, that's a good possibility.
Yeah.
A new modern sat phone.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Would be pretty cool. Dead zones are a thing of the past.
It would be.
Yeah. But that's what he's trying to do business-wise with Starlink right now, is bringing that gap or bridging that gap where service, especially in this area, mountainous areas, right?
Yeah.
Where it's very difficult to put cell towers and then you have a mountain that's just right next to it. And it's like everybody over here, well, there's one right there, but there's a mountain right here.
Yeah.
And everybody on that side doesn't have cell service.
Yeah.
There's another tower that's in the works near where I'm at right now.
They
just put it up a couple weeks ago, and I was actually out there looking at it. Oh. It's pretty cool. And it's not on yet.
Right.
But there's they're getting it all wired in.
Who's it with?
See how that works is the tower is with its own company, and then the cell carriers lease,
pay to use it, basically. Type thing.
Well, they have multiple power meters there.
Right.
And so each power meter is based on whoever leases, so they get their own bill as far as power consumption.
Gotcha.
And then it's fibered up to there, and either it's fiber direct to the tower, or there's a point-to-point satellite dish from another tower to another tower where you can't get fiber up there, you just can get power.
Gotcha.
So that's how that works.
Gotcha.
And so each carrier can then have their own antennas up there. Mm-hmm. And then there's also you have LTE 4G antennas, you have 5G MIMO antennas, which is the short millimeter wave, different types of 5G, ultra coverage, or wideband, or what however the carrier wants to call it. Same thing. They just have different marketing terms for it.
Yeah.
And then there's also on each tower, on each side, there's GPS coordinate antennas as well for GPS devices, right? And then all the different stuff that goes along with it. And then, so I'm excited to see how far that signal's actually going to go.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to go all the way to where I'm at, but it's going to get a lot closer.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about that. And
yeah. You live out in the sticks.
I do. I saw it come in, ironically, on a semi-truck in pieces. Yeah. And I was like, where is that going? And then about a week later, I seen it sticking up above the trees. I'm like, oh, found it.
There it is.
And then I was able to, with permission, go out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, it was pretty cool.
So Apple's making a
fold.
A fold.
Like a book.
Like a book.
Like the Pixel Fold or the Samsung Fold. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
and they haven't officially released it yet, or announced it yet. I mean,
Oh, okay.
so they'll release it per assumption at this point in September when they release iOS 27, which I'm using as a beta tester.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. Developer, right?
Of course.
And so we're on beta 2. It's a lot slower because it's a new version entirely. So it's not like weekly beta updates versus if it's already like, say, for example, everybody else is on iOS 26, right? And so it's like 0.5.
Us normal people.
Sure. 0.5, and then you, or whatever they're on right now, the beta would be every week, usually. Like usually on Mondays is the update schedule. Typically has how that goes. And then, but for a major release, a new number like 27, it's every couple weeks. 2 to 3 weeks usually, in the beginning especially.
Okay.
As it gets closer to September, whenever Apple releases it and they announced it at WWDC, the Worldwide Developer Conference, a few weeks ago in June, second week of June, usually.
Sure.
But that's just software release stuff.
Right.
Usually, there's usually no hardware stuff. That's in September.
Okay.
Which is Samsung does theirs in the spring for that year, and then Apple does theirs in the fall of that year. And people are like, "Oh, Apple's so far behind." No, you're just comparing it against last year's.
Right.
So there's been that, and then they compare it whenever that comes out.
Yeah.
But just different release schedules. It is what it is. Deal with it. Or not. I don't care. That's what the internet's for.
True.
Debates galore. But anyway, so Apple just confirmed, though, the iPhone Fold in some of the code that's found in this beta.
Okay.
Okay. So, some in iOS 27, which is beta only right now, includes some references to things like fold stage or angle degrees. Okay, this is found in code. All right. And things that would only be applicable if they were making a foldable phone or device. Not to mention that another code string reference a display counter. How many displays are active? Outer or inner 1 and 2, right?
Right.
So that's kind of like
kind of
giving it away,
now,
basically.
question.
Sure.
It's not going to be like if it's closed, it's not going to be like that skinny thing that the Fold turned into.
You talking about the narrow screen?
Yeah.
That was a Samsung thing.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I didn't like about theirs.
Yeah.
So narrow, it's unusable with anybody with larger hands.
Right. It's not going to be like that, is it?
It's going to be more like the Pixel Fold. Shorter and wider.
Okay.
So it's not going to be as tall as, these.
All right.
It's going to be probably about here, and then about the same width, or maybe a little bit wider, just a hair. And then it'll fold open to be a little bit smaller probably than like the iPad mini, like the smallest one.
Okay.
So it's going to be very similar, some of the renderings and some of the mock-up designs, because they have to send mock-up designs to case manufacturers prior to, but they have to sign an NDA to where they can't talk about it. And if they do, they'll remove them from their for next year. And they'll probably sue them for violation. But anyway, so that's what we're looking at so far as design-wise. So it's going to be more similar to the Pixel Fold for comparison than the tall, narrow, skinny. I did not like
horrible.
That.
Yeah,
I didn't like that. Now, I did like the pen. You can use the pen.
Yeah.
I love the Samsung DeX, which is not just for folds. It's for any Samsung phone, which is cool.
Yeah.
Operating system when you plug it into a TV or monitor. I would love if the iPhone would do that, if you would plug it into a monitor and it's running Mac OS. Amazing. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
That would just shoot themselves in the foot, product line wise.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the it would tell you how many in the code. It was talking about how many active displays there are in one of the code strings, lines of code basically, and So you would have a front display and then the massive inner display. Display 1 and 2, inner and outer 1. And then there was a pretty interesting section in the Apple's developer State of the Union where they were talking about new technologies and the latest best practice for developers, casually mentioning apps that should be dynamic to readjust as display size changes. Why would that be? If you're not
making one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why would they bring it up as a heads up? Say, hey,
yeah,
get this resizing, screen resolution and aspect and all that stuff in your app to where it can adjust as needed if it wasn't going to be a thing, right? This is something that's been talked about for a few years now. But in speculate, it's like, why has Apple not done anything? Because Samsung's on their like 8th generation of it, I think. 7th or 8th or somewhere in there. Pretty well developed. Pixel Fold is like 2 or 3, 4, somewhere in there. 3, 4, I don't know. And some others are, you know, they're pretty well established, right? But it's typical for Apple to kind of wait, let new products, new types of products work themselves out, and then jump on the game.
Yeah.
Typical Apple fashion, right? It is what it is. But then, because like on an iPhone has a stationary display, iPad same way. It's not going to change. You can rotate it. It might literally just rotate. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's nothing new. So why would they mention that? But a foldable iPhone with what we're looking at is about a 7.8 inch inner display. Certainly would change that app fluidity as far as dynamically changing, as they call it. So if there was any doubt in anyone's mind at this point, this is pretty confident of, you know, just confirming that I would say that it's pretty close to being a real product.
But they won't say that until September.
Correct.
Okay.
Others might kind of release it. There's been a leak of some kind, which per always, there's always going to be that. So some people are like, oh, yeah, maybe eventually, not this year. I don't think so at this point. If it's in iOS 27 beta code at this point, which it is, I saw it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, it's going to happen this year. Because if it wasn't going to happen this year, it would be in iOS 28.
Right. What if they got it
Pretty
already
obvious.
finished and just wait?
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Basically, I would suspect.
Yeah.
Just like GTA 6, they're just playing it at this point. You know, it's scheduled for November release after how many delays and how many billions of dollars apparently?
It's finally showing up on PlayStation Store.
Pre-order. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that yesterday.
I saw that too.
It's there as pre-order, like a placeholder, like you pre-order it and you can actually put money down. And I was like, okay, it's legit.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll see.
We'll see if it holds up to the hype. But apparently, I mean, there's supposed to be a lot of detail on that. Kind of going off on that side tangent, but it's relevant in the sense that it's probably done,
right,
or very close to being done at this point, and they're just testing the crap out of it. Is probably what they're doing. Apple is basically developer-wise saying, hey, it's happening, but they're not doing a media announcement release that, hey, we're doing a foldable. It's just in the code. And of course, they know this, that people are going to catch that because people are, each beta that happens, they're searching the code of each beta version of the software for any changes and comparing it against, you know, so they can tell the masses because on their social media accounts, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
is that what you're doing?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I don't know that I would get it though.
I would.
Well, here's my reason for not.
As long as it's not like skinny when it's folded.
So the iPhone Air, the really thin one,
Yes.
It's going to be like 2 of those, essentially.
Oh, okay.
And that's conspiracy speculation of why they created the Air.
Yeah.
Durability, material testing, because that's still titanium. These, they went back to aluminum because of heat dissipation.
Yeah.
But the Air, because of it's so thin, they had to still stay with titanium. Otherwise, it would break.
Gotcha.
It takes, I think, jerry-rig everything, it was like a couple hundred pounds or something crazy to fully snap it.
The Air? The Air?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was like insane amount, like way more than predicted. But he had a scientific, tension device that would tell you exact pound that an object would be able to tolerate. But yeah, very interesting. Okay.
Well, that's cool because I'll be excited to see it. At least.
Exactly. The only thing that I would be hesitant about getting it as a daily driver is it's not going to be the top spec. You're not going to have 3 cameras, and if you do, they're not going to be as high performance as the Pro Max. Just like the Pixel Fold, it's not going to, just like the Samsung Fold, it's not going to be your top tier spec. So if that's important, you're going to have to decide which is more important.
Right.
And so that's kind of where I'm at with it, because you're going to be limited because it is 2 basically Airs probably snapped back together, And so that's the thing. You have to weigh that out. Like, do I want high performance or do I want a foldability?
Right, yeah.
Do I want a bigger screen that I can open up and just have that? You're going to have to decide.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty confident in saying this. They're not going to do both. You're not going to have your high-spec Pro Max stuff in a foldable. You're just not.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to probably have 2 batteries, like, or whatever. 2 A battery and B battery. And then they, software-wise, are 1 battery. And then spec-wise, you're only going to fit so much in it because it's so thin. In order to, when folded, closed, to be the same thickness or close to a regular phone, which is what they're at right now.
Right.
What the new Samsung Fold, it's pretty impressive of how thin it is when it's closed. It's very close to just a regular phone.
Wow.
Which is impressive. It's still that skinny from last I saw, but the Pixel one, very similar. The new Pixel Fold, it's very thin. The first one that I had, the first edition of it, it was a little thick, but I didn't care. It was fine. I didn't want a thin phone.
Yeah.
I mean, like, some people it's great for. Some, I'm like, I'm not asking for a thin phone. I don't want one.
Right.
I'll break it accidentally.
Yeah, same.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I always put a case on mine anyways.
Same. I do too.
Because there's so much glass. The back is all glass. The front is glass, obviously. And I just want to protect it.
Same.
I have insurance, but I don't want to use it. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
I'll be interested to see it.
Yeah.
What it looks like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get it though if it was like super thin like that.
That's my speculation. It's going to be like 2 Airs.
I wouldn't want to lose camera quality either. So
if you want, you're not going to have
now that you put it that way.
If you want to be able to zoom in a lot, because that's what you're sacrificing with the Air or the non-Pro editions.
Yeah.
Is that third telephoto zoomed in lens.
Right.
You're going to lose that. So you're going to be whatever the primary lens, because you're going to have probably an ultra wide, but the Air only has just the main shooter lens, and that's it. It only has 1 lens.
Yeah. I don't
so it's kind of like
that. Yeah.
You have to figure out which more important, right?
Right.
To you, and might be different than everybody else. It's fine. Don't matter.
Yeah.
That's why there's options, right?
It's true.
Thank you guys for tuning in today. If you would like and subscribe, and then share this everywhere and with everyone you know. Catch you guys again soon. Thank you.